Well, the sunshine has finally arrived in Lancashire. Good. Right then, table talk time. Hello, welcome to Model Kit Stuff and welcome to this week's Table Talk. My name is Jason, and if you're one of my new subscribers, a massive warm welcome to the channel. You're very welcome here. I'm sure you will find something to interest you no matter what part of the modelling hobby, and it's a big old hobby, you're interested in. We have a bit of something for everything, or at least I like to think we do. And if you're one of my long-standing subscribers, a massive welcome back. Always good to see you. So in this video we do all sorts of stuff, talk about what's going on behind the scenes, what's coming up, we reflect on what's happened as well, and you find out what I'm thinking, plans and all that sort of stuff. You get sneak peeks on some of the builds. And we're also selling 3 more kits from my stash this week, all at really good bargain prices. So far, out of all the kits that I have put up for sale, there's only 2 that I haven't sold. So that's pretty good going, you know, because previously when I've tried to sell kits on the channel, there hasn't been much uptake. Anyway, here we go. Let's start by talking about stash ads, shall we? There we go. That's one of the classic ones I was telling you about, but of course I can't go without talking about the Chinook. Now, I've not got it here on the desk. It's actually in the attic. I have just filmed the first impressions. That's going to go out on Wednesday. I think it's a really nice kit. I've never built a kit of a Chinook before, so I've got nothing to reference it against really. Comes with 2 paint options, Gulf War, Desert Storm, and Falklands War. So one is the sort of grey-green camouflage, RF grey-green, and the other one is yellow. I think there's a lot more weathering opportunities with the Desert Storm on, because obviously that paint job didn't stay on for very long with all that sandblasting it was getting, so you've got all sorts of weathering, chipping paints, lots of opportunities with that one, even though there's a lot less sort of decals and interest on it. You can build the interest on it. So really interesting. Like I say, on this Wednesday coming, we'll have the first impressions. So that was a stash ad that arrived just as I was sort of around about the time I was recording last week, I think. So yeah, the Chinook, hot on the heels of the Bulldog. So we'll talk more about the Bulldog in a minute, but for now let's talk about this. This is officially the second motorbike kit I have ever had. I have built one other, which I don't think he ever finished. I was around about 14, 15. The kit was of a Harley Davidson. I can picture it in my mind's eye. I've had a good search around and I can't find an image of it anywhere. So I don't know what the original brand was. I don't think it was a Tamiya one. It was more likely to perhaps be a Revell one, perhaps. Don't know. But anyway, this is a surprisingly nice kit when I had a look around. So I've not recorded the first impressions of it yet, but is that true? I might have recorded the first impressions of it. I think I might have. But yeah, that will be going out soon as the first impressions. Trouble is, I only do one a week, and I've got loads, but I need to space them out, otherwise I'll run out, and then I've got to buy more kits, and then I've got to sell more kits to make space to put them in. Yeah, you see how it all links up. So yeah, I was really surprised. This is a 80, 83, something like that. Does it tell me on the box? 1980. So for a 1980s kit, I was really surprised. But I'm going to let you into a little secret, because I'm actually looking forward to building this. I've wanted to build a motorbike for some time. something different on the channel. Never done a motorbike on the channel because I've only ever done one before. And I've been looking around for ages. I really wanted to do a sort of a 1920s one, and I'll tell you for why. So my great Auntie Ivy was a teacher, ultimately a headmistress, and in the 1920s she was, I suppose, part of that 1920s emerging feminist movement. And she actually got a car, and on the first day she had the car, drove it into the new carport that had been built for it, took the posts out, and it collapsed on the car, is the story. Now, I met her 2 or 3 times before she passed away in the 90s, when I was a teenager. And she was Johnny on the spot with her brain. She used to do the Times crossword every day, including the day she passed away. She didn't pass away till she'd finished the crossword. But she got an OBE for teaching, and she used to play at lunchtime in the school. She'd go out and play football with the lads. She was one of those teachers, and everyone loved her. And she lived in the family home, which was in a little village called Rudgwick in Sussex, which is where the last 5-6 generations of my family have all centred from, down to my grandparents. They all came from there, and my family were all builders. In fact, the modern village of Rudgwick was largely built by my family. It had a big building firm that went bust in the 1930s during the Depression, and then they turned their hands to gardening. But they built the family home. It's a nice, impressive house. It's not in the family anymore. When my aunt passed away, it was sold, and the cottage next to it, which was also ours, got sold when my grandfather's brother passed away, because that's where he lived. So it's no longer there, but that's, things move on, don't they? Yeah, it all comes from that period. Now, when in the 1920s she, and this is before driving tests, of course, she crashed the car, her solution was to go out and buy a motorbike. So, young woman. And she used to ride a motorbike, and worse than that, she used to ride a motorbike with legs on both sides. So there was all sorts of rules for women in society, and she was a put the trousers on and ride the bike properly type girl. So I've always wanted to build a motorbike in the 1920s. I have no idea what motorbike she had. I've got no way of finding out. I will never be able to know that. But I've got it in my mind that it'd be like an old Norton or something like that. Can I find a model kit of a 1920s motorbike? No. So this is a 50s motorbike, and it's as close as I've been able to find to one that I think's pretty. Modern motorbikes, I think, are absolutely hideous. I'd never build one. I know people love them. I know people love their bikes. So don't take offence, but I think they're hideous. Whereas that's got a bit of charm about it. But I'm not going to, it's called a black shadow, but I'm not going to do it black. I'm going to do it, whoever originally bought this kit obviously had an intention of what he was going to do it. I think a motorbike fan, because in the kit is a slip of out of a motorcycling magazine with a picture of the Vincent Touring Rapide. Look at that bad boy. So, and this comes out of the Classic Motorcycle, November 2012. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. Whoever bought the kit intended to do that. I think it looks absolutely stunning in the red. So that's my plan, to do the do it as this Touring Rapide. As far as I can see, there's very little difference. There's a little bit, but not much, and could be fabricated, I think. Bit less chrome, but nice colours, and the same decals will work on it. So that was one of my stash ads a few weeks ago. Another Matchbox kit, which is always good, and a classic, and I've never had that before, and like I say, only my second time with a motorbike. I do remember seeing these around in places like BT's, which is where this originally came from. Now when I tell you how much it originally cost, £2.75. Blimey. Can't even buy glue for that now. Now I did say last week that I had some stuff on order in the way of tools and bits and pieces, and some of those, not all of them, have turned up. That's turned up, which I'll be filming this weekend, I think. So there's a tool in there that I think many of you will be interested in, and probably, I'm gonna bet, most of you don't have. Because it's not really coming, you know, if you search for modelling tools, you'd never find that. So probably got your interest there, I would think. But yeah, that is interesting. Now, my good friends over at Gallery have sent me the Airbrush. So we talked about it last week. So they have sent me the, this is from their Ace series. So they have a number of different series: the Classic, the Advanced, the Premium, the Ace, and the Supreme. So this is part of their Ace series, and this is supposed to have some of the best atomization out of an airbrush that they do. It's GHAC 98 dual because it comes with 2 different needle sizes. So very similar to their entry-level sort of one that we talked about, but with a bit more refinement. Now this is one that they've had on special offer during the past week, and you've been able to get it either with an upgraded trigger or an upgraded air cap. And what Gallery have kindly done is sent me both the trigger and the air cap, which you can buy separately to upgrade your own brush anyway. And so I can have a play and try them out and tell you what I think. So I will be doing that. They've given me the airbrush, I've not bought it. Also I'll be doing a tool review on it at some point as well, and having a bit of a play with it and seeing what I think. So it comes with a 5, I think it is, and a 3.2, yeah. So and 1 paint pot, so fairly standard affair. Looks very similar to the entry-level one, similar weight and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, nice. Feels nice in the hand anyway. So yeah, so I've got that to do. So we'll get 2 or 3 videos out of that, because we'll do the tool review of this standard airbrush, and then we'll do the upgrades and using them and see where we get. Now don't forget, even though that sale might be finished, the big sale, you can still get your 10% off at any time if you go through the go to their website through the portal and use my discount code at the checkout. You'll get 10% off. So so even if you've got to buy something like, you know, a new nozzle cap or a needle or whatever, you can still always get that off. So we've got that as well. So we've got a couple more videos to do, but that leads me on to a new type of video that you'll be seeing soon. So let's have a quick chat about that, shall we? So I've had an idea for a new season, if you like, of videos. These are something that I can just drop in when I've got a gap on a Monday. And for now, there'll be 2 parts. So I'm calling them the big debate. I'm not going to go into it any further than that. But the first part will be posing a question, explaining the question, and then the second part will be collecting what everyone's opinion was on that question and what they thought the answer was and feeding it back. And it's called a debate because I'm looking for your view as fellow modelers, what you think. And there's some of the big questions that get bandied around a lot and talked about a lot in the modelling community. So I've already filmed the first part of the first one. And what I'm going to do is put it out there, see what the response is like, test the water. It might be a good idea in my head, but be a real flop and no one's interested in. Or it might be something people want to run with. We will see. I never know how these things are going to be received. But I'm interested in people's view, because you get told one thing, particularly by the manufacturers, and then I look around and I think I'm seeing something different. So that's part of the question. But in the fullness of time, when I've sorted my camera out, I'm struggling, I'll talk about that in a sec, to connect my camera to my computer. But once I can sort that out, then there might well be a live stream and a live debate, which I think will be a lot more lively and interesting. People will be able to share their views, and we can come to a conclusion in that one live stream video, and we'll see. Like I say, I'm having a problem getting my camera to talk to my computer. So when I bought this camera, it said on the spec that it'll do live streams, and it has a mini HDMI connection. So I did a bit of reading on the internet, and it says you need to have a mini HDMI connection to do live streams. So I've done that to a I'm not very techie, a USB is it port, which goes straight into my computer. But it wouldn't accept it, and I think it's because the cable was designed to take data from the computer to the from the camera to the computer, and I want it to do it the other way. So I did a bit of digging, and I found some cables which appear to run to do it both ways. But I'm so unsure about what I'm doing that I haven't done anything about it yet. So I'm still trying to work out. What I don't want to do is spend 40 quid on a cable, because I need a decent length, and then go, right, okay, it don't work. Because I've got a cable already that I thought would work, and it doesn't. And it's a mini HDMI, so you can't just put any old thing in. And then I watched a video about it on YouTube, and they said you needed some converter box thing. I had no idea what they were going on about, so I'm not confident that I know how to get my camera, my good quality 4K camera, to do live stream, which means I'm left with my my 720 webcam, and it's just not good enough. So I need to resolve that, but in the meantime we'll do it as two parts. It'll be a bit clunky, but you guys that watch Table Talk will know we're working on sorting that out. So when someone complains and goes, you should do this live, you can all wade in on my behalf and say, yeah, we're working on it. So that will be out a week on Monday. So you're getting a bit of a forward view there. I suppose that links nicely into what's coming up next week, but we shouldn't talk about that until we talk about what happened last week. So let's do that first, shall we? So, if truth be told, I really cannot work you lot out. I really, really cannot. And last week is a real case in point. So, Monday put out a video on the little photo etch support cables for the Airfix Walrus, and I thought, really niche, most people probably won't be interested. We'll just put it out there, so anyone who has got the Walrus kit is aware of them. That was the real reason for putting it out there. Be aware of it. There's not much to say about it. It's photo etched. And it saves you having to rig it. You can it's got enough flex in it for you to be able to pop it in, and it's got enough rigidity to not sag and be nice and tight and all that. Don't get me wrong, There are some pitfalls for it. You don't get the holes deep enough and stuff, and it can cause you all sorts of pain. But generally speaking, will be easier to sort than trying to rig it with fishing line, stretch sprue, or especially easy line. Goddamn stuff. It's not easy to work with on aircraft. Dead easy on ships, love it on ships, but it does tend to perish. But it's actually designed for, originally was designed to go over telegraph poles on railroad kits, dioramas. So nowhere near natural light, and you know, perfect for that job. And then people started using it on other jobs, so they started selling it. But people, you know, the manufacturers followed the market and the demand. But anyway, I digress again. I keep doing that, don't I? So I put that out and I thought, niche, no one's going to be interested. About 450 views, which surprised me. I thought it might do a couple of hundred in the first week, and then slow burn tick over, and when you come back and look at it 6 months later, it's at 800 or 900, and in 18 months it's at 1,500 or something like that. So some videos do that. They just tick along and build up, and you come across them for whatever reason a year or two later, and oh, it's at 8,000. That's a surprise. So that's how. So it took me completely by surprise. Tuesday, put out the Amati video. That's progressing nicely, and yeah, was happy. That's got around about 290 views, I think, which is about what it usually does. A standard week. I know wooden kits are niche. You know, most of the people that watch my channel are plastic modelers, but I do have people that build wooden kits, and I have people who are hybrids who do wooden kits and plastic kits. I have people that do match building kits, and all sorts of stuff that follow the channel for all sorts of various reasons. So yeah, it's always going to be a smaller view than a plastic kit. Then on Wednesday I put out the new Mini Art Opal Blitz. So it's new, it's Mini Art, it's an Opal Blitz, everyone loves them, everyone builds them. I thought this is bound to be a popular video. It's not done as much as the photo etch for the Walrus. Go figure that. You know, it's one of the probably the most well-known German World War II truck, I would imagine. I mean, everyone knows about, you know, the Hanomag SS100 and what have you, but the Opal Blitz is like the workhorse that everyone knows about. It's in every theatre, you know, and it's got so many different variations. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe everyone's got the fill of Opal Blitz and everyone's got 3 in the stash, and who needs another Opal Blitz? I don't know, but it really, really took me by surprise, because I'd been really looking forward to that kit. So clearly you guys weren't bothered about it. I was a bit shocked. But if you haven't seen it and you do happen to like an Opal Blitz, and maybe you've not built one for a little while, go and check that video out, because it's actually a superb looking kit. Really, really nice. And I love the fact that on the initial release we've got one from Organisation Top, which I think is superb. Well, yet again, Mini Art venturing into areas with their models that no one else has ever thought about doing. You know, they go for the definite win. We'll do a Das Reich version of this Tiger tank, and yeah, and everyone will buy it, and then we'll do an SS Totenkopf version of this tank, and yeah, that'll be popular. And we'll put a famous tank commander in it, and then everyone will buy that. I like the fact that Mini Art go, and with this van here sells cheese. Brilliant, because you know, cheese was sold. It gives you so many different options. I love the fact that they do that, and you get the post office version of it and the railroad version of it and what have you. They they really go deep into what's possible out of a subject. So I'm expecting loads to come from that Opel, from command and control vehicles to workhorses, to all sorts of variants, you know, strange ones that they only made 3 of. I'm sure Mini Art will release it at some point, so watch that space. A lovely kit, but you guys just weren't bothered about it. But then I put a short video out, several seconds, showing the first patchy, scruffy coat of aluminium paint on the B17, and it looks dreadful. And it's at what, 1.4 thousand views? I can't read you. I really can't read you. Anyway, that links nicely. We're getting more professional at this, aren't we? As time passes, a little bit more professional. And we don't want to get too professional. But yes, so let's talk B17. At that distance, it don't look so bad, does it? First coat, silver on black. It's always going to look patchy. And we put the black primer down patchy deliberately. So I did just 1 coat rather than the recommended 2, because I wanted to have it uneven. I'm trying to get a bit of modulation in it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But no, that was the intent. Then I put the first layer down, and it was always going to be patchy. The first layer. So this is polished aluminium, which is the A-stand lacquer. Stinks the house out. Everyone was complaining. You could smell it in the bathroom. Yeah, I had a house full of not very happy bunnies that day, I can tell you. And it's gone down okay. I'm still learning about lacquers. I think my air pressure wasn't quite right, so I'm going to mess around with the air pressure for the next time. But that's looking all right for a first layer. Now underneath, on this side, that's looking better and more even. That's an acrylic. That's the MIG metal aluminium, which I've used several times and like. So I had the idea after the first one that maybe if I put the acrylic down first, then we could go in with the metals over the top, the A-stand ones. Firstly, we'd be doing less lacquer painting, and secondly, it would give it a good foundation. So where I am now, next step is to polish this. So we're going to get some fine polishing, what's the word I'm looking for? Fine grit, basically. What the hell are they called? I forget. Anyway, I've got some pads, and we'll just polish this down and smooth it up, and that should help with the shine of the second layer, or at least that's my thinking. But yeah, so that it's gone down not quite as well as I would have hoped, in fairness, but it's not gone down unexpectedly, if that makes sense. So yeah, so it does look scruffy now. I was expecting it to look scruffy, and you lot of I might not be able to read you, but you are very polite, because no one of those 1.4 thousand people that looked at that went, that paint job's not very even. It's not the finished job. Anyway, there we go. Just getting on with that. We have not got long on the B17 build. On the 1st of July, I will be asking you for photographs. Please don't send me any before that, because I am likely to miss them and forget them. I'll have a little system going from that day onwards. So I get a lot of emails, an awful lot of emails. Every time there is a comment on my channel, I get an email about it. So I get tons and tons and tons of emails, and I do miss things. So I'll be looking out for them when I've announced it. So don't get ahead of yourselves. If you have, you're going to have to send it again, probably. I don't think anyone has at this stage. Right, so whilst I'm building that, I can also build my Bulldog, because it's the same paint, so I explained that last week. And here she is. Now I say she's the same paints, but actually I didn't use the same paints at all. Sorry, the light is starting to get a bit dark outside. I'm recording this Thursday night because I've got a busy day tomorrow. Doesn't that look nice in the light? Bring it up close for you. Hold up, see if we can sort the light out. There you go. So, nice silver. So what we've done is the material. I've also done, or not finished with the wing. Now, this is first coat. Doesn't that look different? That is Vallejo Model Air 71063 Silver RLM 01, which is what I did. I bought this paint to do my Airfix 148 Walrus silver wings with, and it was lovely. And I get comments on that video still about what paint did I use, because it is lovely. So for a silver painted material on an aircraft, it comes out gorgeous. And like I say, one coat, straight down, no messing. It's Model Air, so you do need to fit it. I thinned it about 25% roughly. And yeah, it's gone down an absolute dream. So really, really pleased with it. Like I say, on the wings, because there's nowhere to hold it particularly, you can see I've got a little area there, not painted or primed as it happens. So on the wings, we've done the two tips. That does need a second coat, whereas I think the fuselage will get away with it and the lower wing. So I need to paint the centre section, and I think we'll give the upper wings another dust at the same time. But that's the same process, black primer, same black primer as the B17 as it happens. And then the Vallejo paint on top, and it's come out lovely. Yeah, really, really happy with that. Not a metallised colour though, but that's not what we want. The front of the Bulldog, that's a polished aluminium. And I think what we're going to do is do that a bit differently to the B17. It's a smaller area, we'll put it in more consistently. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a different silver. I'm going to lay down the metallic aluminium from MIG first, then go in with I think it's called polished aluminium on top, and give it a little buff with a cloth. And then we're going to do third and maybe fourth final coats, the top two coats, in the highly polished aluminium. Try and get it really shiny, because this is going to be sort of just out of the factory fresh, this model. But yeah, it's looking lovely, and it's easy to paint actually, because you can hold it at this engine area here. I mean, it'll actually stand up, the kit will stand up on those engine mounts, no trouble at all. But you can hold that bit and paint everything else. So really, really happy with how the Bulldog's coming along. Superb kit. But it does feature in the big debate. Spoilers. Right then, this hobby, quite frankly, it's wonderful. I enjoy it tons, you enjoy it tons, and it's partly wonderful because most of the people in there are in the hobby are really lovely too, and I haven't had to block anyone for a fortnight, so I think people are getting better at being nice to each other, which is great. But there is some very special people that like to help out the channel, and if you ever become one of those, I will mention you here in Table Talk as a gesture of thank you for the support. Any money that is generated by the channel or is received by you, the subscriber, for the channel is intended for the channel, and it stays in the channel. I don't take it and go out buying Ferraris, although they would have to be corgi ones. I put it all into buying new kits and products and bits and pieces that we need for the channel, mainly for you to review, so you sort of get your money back in a way. So we're at that point where we're going to say our thank yous for those people that that donated. Now you can donate by hitting the PayPal link. You just use that link, copy and paste it, and do what you do. You don't need to have a PayPal account to use it, and 100% of anything you put into PayPal goes into the channel, like I said. Or you can super thanks or super chat if you like. I get 60% of that, roughly. And I also get a tiny revenue from videos. And when I say tiny, I mean tiny. Now, the more videos you put out, the more it sort of adds up, because you've got multiple videos that are generating money, yeah? But to give you an idea, I'll get about somewhere between 50p and £1 for 1,000 views on a video. And a lot of my videos don't do that for 2 or 3 weeks. So, yeah, it's not a lot. I can't retire on it, more's the pity, because imagine what this channel would be like if I was doing it full time. Woohoo! Anyway, we're not there yet, few years. Got a few thank yous to do. So Paul, Plastic Monkey, mentioned him last week, mentioned him again this week, another donation. Thank you very much, Paul. Greatly appreciated, you know it is, and it all helps out. And please go and check his channel out if you haven't yet done so. He gets through plastic kits at a rate of knots. You would not believe it. He starts in and starts going and says, oh, this looks like it might be a big one. This one looks like it's tricky. And then you blink your eyes and goes, there it is, it's done. It's not quite like that, but it's how it feels like. He just roars through them. So anyway, there you go, Plastic Monkey. Lee Fennell, thank you very much, sir. Always appreciate your donations. And thanks for the kind words that go around with them. Alex Stokes, thank you very much for the super thanks. Very grateful, hope you're watching this. And that is it, I think, for this week. Now, I thought I'd received a donation on PayPal from someone, and I now can't find the email notification, so I will have to go into my PayPal and see if I can find it, because I'm sure there's someone else as well. So if you're the someone else, apologies, I will find it and mention you next week. So there you go, that's the thank you. And I was about to say, let's talk about what's coming up, when I realised we hadn't finished actually talking about what happened last week, because we didn't talk about the B17 build. So in the B17 build that happened last night, if you've not seen it, we do tons of sorting out the whole interior, so weathering the inside of the fuselage, building up the bomb bays and painting and weathering and putting the decals on, the dials and all that lot gets its decals on, painting, sealing, some weathering bits and pieces. We do flipping loads of it, and it's quite detailed in there. So I don't think we do the wood effects. I don't think we did the wood effects. Obviously, I'm recording this before it's gone out. I think the wood effects are in the next one. So yeah. Anyway, that was that. So what's coming up in the week ahead? Let's have a look. Jog my memory. I actually have an excellent memory. It's just very short. Isn't it, Ron? Right, so what's coming up next week? Well, on Monday we've got airbrushing part 6, and we're gonna deal with troubleshooting in that video. So I know many of you will be listening to that. Now, what I will say is I've dealt with all the common ones. There's lots of other things that I may not have covered, but I've done the things that commonly go wrong that most people are likely to encounter at some point, so that you can resolve those. Remember, this is about taking absolute beginners to a point where they can airbrush with confidence. So you might have issues that I haven't sort of covered off in there, but I am planning to do a sort of airbrushing surgery at the end, and I'll do my best to try and answer any questions. And if I can sort this link out with my camera, we might do it live as well. But something I'm playing with. So airbrushing part 6, there's still more to come on the airbrushing. After that, we're going to do getting a little bit more control into what you do, because the last one was just blanket painting. What we're going to do now is going to concentrate on really how to get control and own the airbrush and use it as a tool, and not the tool sort of dictate to you what's going to happen, is the idea. But we need to do some troubleshooting first. So now you can switch the airbrush on and put a load of paint down as long as you've masked everything else off. That's all well and good. But what happens when something goes wrong? That's the basic idea. So that's Monday. Wednesday, we've already talked about it. First impressions of the Chinook. I know other people have done it, but nobody does a first impression like me. I keep being told that. I enjoy doing first impressions. I do them the way that I want to see them. So there is nothing wrong with someone giving you a quick look in the box, but I personally don't watch those because I want to know the detail. So yeah, when I do a first impressions, I do it properly in my world, how I'd like to do it. So yeah, like I say to people, if it's too long for you, fast forward to the bits you're interested in. If you're only interested in the plastic, fast forward to it. If you don't care for a full understanding of the instructions and how it's going to go together, which I think is fundamentally an important part, because there's a lot of modelers out there with all sorts of different abilities, and it's the way, when you look at the instructions, you can go, actually, that's probably too complicated for me, or actually, I think I could tackle that, no problem at all. So that's why I do it that way, because in doing this channel, I've got to cover for everybody, and I try and do that, but it's really difficult. Most experienced modelers probably will find this channel a little bit low level, you know, whatever. But I do have to cater for people who are novices and those that want to improve. But I do think, you know, the first impressions of new kits and things do speak to experienced modelers who maybe want to know what's in there. So I do think I cover everybody. But anyway, I do it the way I do it because that's how we do it. So that's Wednesday. And then on Friday, so that's the last Friday of June, I should have another B17, but it won't be the last one. So I want to keep them coming until we get that done. So it won't be a Scharnhorst, it'll be another B17. And then we've probably got 2 left after that. And what I might do, if I can get them done in time, is I might do 2 build premieres in a week. So if you're one of my moderators, Gary, Jeff, James, I'll drop you an email if I'm going to do that. I'm not going to catch a cold, although I have done in the past sometimes, haven't I? Sorry. But yeah, I'll drop you an email if we're going to do that. But we might pick a night and do a midweek bonus live just to get the B17 over the line, in terms of videos at least. So yeah, I've not got long left on that. Then the following week, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, and you'll have to wait till next week's Table Talk to find out what it is. And even then I might not tell you. Right then, I have 3 kits to sell again this week. Let's start with this first one. So this is the Tamiya 1:48 scale Measure Spit BF109 G6. It's the one with the little magnets in, so you can you can open or close the engine cowling covers. It's a nice little kit. We've done a first impressions of it. Yeah, and it retails at about what have we got here? Retails at about 36 quid plus postage. And lots of people have built this and said it goes together like a dream. So it is a really, really nice kit. It's one of those kits, because it's Tamiya, you know it's going to go together. So you shouldn't have any issues. There's also in here some Eduard photo etch seat harnesses, because there was no seat harnesses, or I think there might be decal seat harnesses in the kit. So we've got some better seat harnesses in there. So I'm asking, so it's around about 40 quid's worth in total, plus shipping if you were to buy it yourself. shipping for the etch and shipping for the kit. So I'm asking 30 quid for this all in. So that's including shipping. So that's roughly 25 quid for the kit, 5 quid shipping. So I think that's a bargain. I think that's a bargain. So you're getting 25% off the actual sale price and free shipping effectively. So it has been opened because we've done a first impressions, but it's all there and it's all good. So there you go. Offers over offers over £30 and highest bid wins. All money goes into the channel, so thank you very much. So that's the first one. Now if you do happen to like 109s, I've got something very special for you here. This is the Bunny Fighter Club BF 109 G6 Members Edition. There is 2 kits in here, plus resin wheels for 2 kits, plus resin propeller I think for just 1 kit, plus resin cockpit interior for 2 kits, photo etch including colour printed photo etch for 2 kits, so that's full interior photo etch, paint masks for 2 kits, additional paint masks, additional photo etch, additional photo etch harnesses, all in here, along with 2 full kits. Now when I've costed this up to buy those individual items, it's going to cost you around about 100 quid. So there's 100 quid of gear in here, and this is rammed full, absolutely rammed full with the 2 kits, brassing and etch and everything you need. You're not going to need to buy anything else unless you want to modify the kit. So 2 kits, and I can't remember, I think it's 4 paint schemes, one of which is a completely unique Bunny Fighter scheme. So yeah, which is this one on the box cover there. So yeah, it's stunning. Definitely a more complex build than the Tamiya one. There's a lot more to it, and a more detailed kit than the Tamiya one, without doubt. So 100 quid's worth of gear. So I'm looking for offers over £73. That's shipped to you, that includes shipping. So 73 quid, so you're getting about a third off plus some shipping. Now this will cost more to ship because the content value, and it's heavier as well. So this is going to cost me a minimum of 8 quid to ship. So out of that 73 quid, I'm probably getting about 65. So I think that's an utter bargain. If you're interested in it, starting bids are 73. Whoever bids the highest gets it. But it's a lovely kit, and you, like I say, you get 2 of them and 4 options. So you've got 2 109s built there with all the resin and etch and stuff that you might ever want. So lovely, lovely kit. And the last one that I'm selling is this, which is the Airfix 148 North American Sabre. We did a first impressions of this a little while ago. It's remind myself now, 2020 tooling, so it's only 4 years old, but this is the 2022 release. So everything's there. It's opened because we've done a first impressions. Flying hours are removed, otherwise it's all there. 2 paint schemes, including the one you see on the front, and then one with this lovely red stripe, which I think is Japanese service, and a red nose. So yeah, very, is it Japanese? Yeah, Japan Air Self-Defense Force. So yeah, 2 lovely paint schemes in there. It was a nice kit. When we reviewed it, I was very happy with it. You'll probably remember the first impressions. I ended it with the Muppets, but yeah, lovely, lovely kit. So it retails for 36 quid, thereabouts, and I'm asking 25. That's including shipping. So 20 quid for the kit, £5 for the shipping. It's a bit of a bigger box, so I might not get away with £5. It might be £8 shipping. We'll see. But yeah, 25 quid offers over that. Highest bidder wins. Grab yourself a bargain, I think. Yeah, so those are the 3 kits. Well, I think that is it for this week. 3 kits to sell. I need to create the space in my stash and get some funds so I can repopulate my stash. Well, so I can do more first impressions. Now, what I'm going to be doing in the future with some of my first impressions is selling those kits sort of straight away. So I am starting to buy kits that I don't personally want, just so we can review them on the channel, particularly if they're new releases, and then I will sell them on immediately. So whilst I'm going through my old stuff, we perhaps won't, but going forward we might do. Now, I think that the new Airfix lifeboat is imminent, and the next day or two, so we might be talking about that next week. This weekend I am focused on getting the B17 paint job done, if at all possible, building up the engines and sorting out the landing gear. So we probably won't finish the paint job because of the drying times involved with the lacquers and stuff, but we should be able to put some paint down, do some of the other building bits, and also jump onto the Bulldog, and again, engines and rigging and that sort of stuff on there as well, plus some detail painting. So we'll progress both of those. It's my partner's birthday, Paula's birthday on Saturday, so we will be doing, I'll have a busy day, and then Sunday got my granddaughter round, so that limits me on filming stuff, but I can probably push the Bulldog forward. I think I've also got to put some shelves up, which was gonna do last weekend but couldn't, because we found the bit of furniture we needed to measure it against we couldn't use, so I had to buy another bit of furniture, which we picked up this week. So a lot going on, as always, but yeah, there you go, there we have it. It's such a nice motorbike, that. Right, have a great week everyone, enjoy your modelling. I will see you during the week. Take care, bye for now. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. It's free, and that way you won't miss my first impressions, my tool reviews, my product reviews, and any of my builds, including wooden model kits as well as plastic. It's all free, and if you'd like to support the channel, you can hit my PayPal link in the text below. Every pound goes straight into the channel to keep the cameras rolling and to do more fun stuff for you to watch.